Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Chicanos killing Chicanos, what they want. Blacks and Chicanos killing each other is what they want. That's how they run this place. Once we get together, they don't run shit. You got a lot to learn about being Chicano.
Yeah, Alcatraz, midget loco. Yeah. They never seen this coming, man. What up, Loom? What up, Oreo? 500 years of captivity. What else? Now they try to tell us how we supposed to be, how we supposed to act, how we supposed to rap. How I'm brown but my flow too black. Come on, y'all kidding me, right? Nike Air Flights fitted cock back fresh, representando Mexicanos on the mat. No estoy jugando, got bars like I battle on Smack, but hold on, I'ma bring it right back. My people indigenous, I'm not sure if you getting this. By the time I'm done, you gon' be feeling this. I come from the people, they call MESHIACHA. I've been to the motherland, Chichen Itza, seen the Mayan ruins, intellectual architects. Been in the cenote, seen ancient artifacts. Really? Cali is Mexico, those are the facts. They raped women, gave elders heart attacks. It was a battle, our people were outgunned, took life and cattle, we were outdone. However, 2 wars proudly we take to the grave, those we call our Independence Day. It's time to stand up, educate our people, stay on our ground, let them know that we equal. We see your plan, but your plan is see-through. You can't stop my people. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm holding it down.
Yo, story with Mexicans, Mexicano. Gave birth to the word that we know as Chicanos. Aztec warrior, man, it's all in my blood. From the Tenochtitlan, that's the heart of the love. Now Mexico City, that's a modern day name. Don't let the books confuse you to be a modern day slave. Gotta get your facts right and study the culture. Don't be like Cortez, he came like a vulture. Came to just steal and take away the land. He seen what we got and he was like, damn, who would've guessed it had to be a white man? Damn again, now we got stolen lands. They say go back to where the fuck you from. Man, this is my land, that's what you stole from us. I'm not Hispanic or Latino, I'm a Mexican. Man, fuck La Militia, you can have that bitch.
It's time to stand up, educate our people, stay on our ground, let them know that we equal. We see your plan, but your plan is see-through. You can't stop my people. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm holding it down. Yeah.
Mexicano bandido, todo el barrio prendido. Siempre ando bien juido, siempre poniendo ruido. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, yo defiendo mi tierra. No me dejo de nadie, yo cuido a los míos, mi raza se aferra. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Me voy tendido, me voy empinando mi bote. Un poco mareado por la bebida y el borlote. Me tiene hasta la riata la gente con su mitote. Pero me despreocupo, me pelan todo el garrote. Me para la chota, ya chinga su madre. A la dica este sistema nos quieren ver abajo, pero tumbar gente, quien les dijo que es trabajo. Puro chingar al indio, váyanse mucho al carajo. Loco, no me rajo, lo bueno porque
se armó la alianza más pesada del país. Todo el mundo ya conoce las rimas de estos MCs. Pa' ponerme más feliz, unos paisas de hachís, mis paisas en el gabacho, bien truchas con la polis. Loco en Guanajuato, con los ojos bien tumbados, de coto con el quesada, rifando por todos lados. Atento si prendo un blunt en cabina cuando grabo. Represento Nuevo León junto a mi carnal el Davo. Cuando voy pa' Jalisco el pasado está olvidado. Con el perro de la C bien grifo, pedo y enfiestado. Chécate mi banderón, unido como había soñado. Bien bajado ese balón, compa lefty bien bajado. Puro hip hop mexa hasta que amanezca. Pásenme un mezcal y que no se apague la yesca. Ya saben que aquí andamos pilas pa' lo que se ofrezca. Si escribo estas rimas es pa' que se enorgullezca.
verde marihuana, blanca cocaína, roja la sangre que escurre de una nueva herida. Yo salí de la ruina, nunca se me olvida. Con disciplina y respeto sigo en siempre la movida. Ando bien high, la vida es un freestyle. Disfruta lo que hay, vivo entre el bien y el mal, carnal. Crazy life todo el día, viendo live. Pinto tu barda con spray, lo que canto es real. Azules y rojas las sirenas que me persiguen. No suben pa' la virgen, salen todos cuando chifle. Mi barrio no lo pisen, que andamos todos grises. Maldito policía, no quiero que me revises. Prende la mota en Canala o en Hitter. Ando con mi flota y el dealer. Tenemos lo que se te ofrezca, tú nada más pide. Me dijo mi madre que de la envidia me cuide. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Ya, ábranse cabrones, llegué mexicano partiendo sin necesidad de palanca. Todos jugamos en la misma liga, yo soy titular, tú ves desde la banca. Disfruto cada cosa que me pasa, colaboro y mi carrera se levanta. El mismo cabrón que antes no tenía nada se la pasa viajando y dice que canta. Por eso me caga enfermarme de la garganta. Pero aguanta, traigo mata natural y humo de planta. 2, 3 cabrones dando lata y yo haciendo más plata. De esto la vida se trata y pa' que sepas no es barata. MC Davo los desbarata con cada escalón que sube. Yo tuve la suerte de hacerme tuve. Hay 2, 3 raperos de antaño que me bajé de su nube. Los mandé pa' su casa y de premio hasta les pagué el Uber. Si alguien me tira es porque sabe bien que domino el negocio y quiere de mi parte. No quiero darlas de grande, pero si me tiras la neta me toca humillarte. Soy capitán, llevo el estandarte. Somos muy pocos los que hacemos arte. Este flow si es de Marte, tú dale like y comparte.
México lindo y bandido, diario a Diosito le pido que me cuide a la familia si un día el cora ya no late. Estoy bendecido porque me cuidan los míos. Orgullosamente me exatamos locos de remate. Jaque mate, no hablé de volar si viene gateando. La cosa por la frontera se pone violenta, no importa el rango. Toda la raza jalándole duro, si hay algo seguro es la muerte en donde ando. El sudor y la sangre en la frente, los de alzada controlando. Se roban la atención, ya saben quiénes son. Vatos locos con sazón como el de un gorrión. No quiera tomarme el veloceando todo pelón. Levantando la bandera, viva México cabrón. Es el perrito de la C.
La bandera con un águila, Simón, mi tierra es esta. Me vale si mi piel o si mi acento les molesta. Caja las horas extras, nunca duermen la siesta. Están los que van pa'l jale y los que la viven de fiesta. Otros que en el pintón se tatúan de corazón. 3 colores en el pecho, morirían por su nación. Aunque su puto gobierno los puso en la situación de no terminar la escuela y terminar en la prisión. ¡Viva México, ladrones! ¿Qué hubo, les presidente? Ya saben que por mí policías chinguen a 20. Y ahí están mis 20 pa' la cagua. Aguas, que es tierra caliente de Chiapas hasta Chihuahua. Wow, 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 yipi yo, yipi yucas. Buenas, Montequín, Aguas, Tijuas y San Lucas. San Luis Potoyes, Mataulipas, La Puebluca. Dime si o no, loco, acá tienen lo que buscas.
Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Puro hip hop mexa, perros, 2023.
Ey, yo, ey, yo.
club, and you ain't in it. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged, and nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all, at all, at all. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo, el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credibilidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Hold on a second. Stop the screen. That's actually, yeah, you know what, man? I'm glad you're telling me that. It's been doing that lately. And I gotta remind myself to shut off the other screen and only play the video because it keeps it open and now they're like echoing with each other. Thank you. Thank you. You're reminding me. Anyhow, this is a good point. I got COVID twice. And I was one of the first people that got it, I think 2021, maybe 2020, whatever year that was. I remember Trump talking about it in November and shit, like it's no big deal. Al trompetas when this last term. And that was November. I got the first COVID around February. That shit was bad, like really fucking bad. I've never been sick like that. I mean, I got sick, but I'm not one to get real sick. You know, your little yearly sickness, whatever shit, you know, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But nothing like a heavy headache or like, man, it was bad. The second one was even worse. That one gave me like a foggy brain for a while. And the reason I mentioned this also was because this is going around a lot. It's funny, man, because a family member was telling us about it. Someone else actually had it. And I just happened to go out into a store and they were actually putting it on the, speaker. Like, hey, you got shingles, the commercial shit. So it's something serious. Anyway, let's get to the nitty gritty. history of the American Nazism and Zionism. Before we do that, I want to show this. This is AI, by the way. And there's a brother that, I don't know, I guess he gets upset about it. I really don't know why it bothers you so much, to be honest with you, brother. It's just AI, and we understand that now. If, which I responded to him, by the way. If there are people being misled by AI, then fuck, man. Then we're toast. Because you can tell what is AI and what is not. You can tell. You know what I'm saying? But I understand what you mean. So just for the record, this is AI. But I think it's important. It's a good message, and this is why I like it. Because you got people using it to push their narrative. And you know what? Narrative, when it's propagandized, it really works. So ours is not a narrative. Ours are facts. We're just kind of cartoonishly using it now at this point. Because it's really more of like, we're mocking these motherfuckers now. Like, that's how I see it with us making AI shit. Because it's like, we don't need AI. But, we're mocking that shit. Let's go.
Nos llamaron mestizos para diluirnos, nos borraron de los libros de historia, nos pintaron europeos en los retratos escolares, pero el espejo del alma no miente. Y nos dijeron que éramos mestizos, que debíamos olvidar lo indígena. Pero yo les pregunto, ¿quién creen que amasó la primera pupusa? ¿Quién creó las riquísimas riguas en hoja de guineo? ¿Quién cocinó el primer tamal envuelto en 8,000 años de historia? ¿Quién preparó el chuco en las cocinas de barro? ¿Quién le enseñó a tu abuela a hacer el atol y a moler el maíz? Y todavía te avergüenzas de llamarte indígena.
La comida salvadoreña es indígena. No somos una mezcla. Somos un río interrumpido que vuelve a fluir con brío.
Good point. I like that he mentioned those things in AI. It's like, who the fuck made you the tamal and shit? You know what I mean? For you abos. This is for you abos too. Because I think, gente, I don't know, man. You guys have very bad representatives, like on a national level. You have people that have like almost 100,000 followers for raza, and none of you motherfuckers can put any positive message. Nothing. And when you want to go political, you sound like idiots. You're an embarrassment to our gente. This is what I'm going to tell you. That Cholo homeboy shit did not work in the streets. I grew up in the hood in Pozole. It did not work. Okay, a lot of kids died because of that stupid shit that you guys want to sit behind. Oh, it was a Cholo. Bro, are you serious, man? Are you fucking serious? You want to glorify that shit and make money and merchandise from your own gente? Instead of really finding out like what is going on. I'm gonna show that one for you, brother, too, because I liked it. But I want to show you guys something that was interesting. This guy's channel is interesting. You see, he's using sarcasm now. I actually like that. It took me a little bit to understand it because the brother said it to me. I was like, what the fuck? He's like, I get it. So check it out.
Indigenous people of the Americas are original. We were the first people here. If you don't look like us, you are not original to America.
I mean, not exactly like that guy, but you get what I'm saying? Like, si me entiendes, the, phenotype thing. Because we have a lot of these morenos claiming that they are of this land. And I honestly cannot even fucking understand how you can prove it. Look, listen, I'll tell you this right now. Open line right now. If you can prove to me that we are the invaders with documentation through your nutrition, your clothing, your folklore, your history, like all kinds of shit that really, not just like, pictures and, culomiados crap. I'm talking about real shit. Because if you want to go historic on this bullshit, then let's find out exactly what the fuck it is that the people that were here originally were taught by foreigners regarding religion. So the first people that showed up to these lands were Christians, Catholics, And they specifically taught people to read and learn only these things, memorize them. That's it. If we can find that in your history, then maybe I would agree with you. But you can't even fucking prove that. So this guy's channel is Indigenous Revolution. I'm gonna promote his ass because he's right, and this is the way you do it. Sarcasm, satire, in a sense. Look.
Your people came from this forest, from this soil. You carry our face, our soul. Black Americans and Black Africans are one people. Your hips remember the dances of our mountains. Your eyes carry the dust of our roads. They broke our families, but not our souls. The world told you you are something else, but the river told me your name. Your blood sings of Mali, Songhai, Timbuktu. We were scholars, warriors, poets. You are the bloodline of our people and soul. Sister, when I saw you dance, I cried. Your hips move like ours. You're not lost, just misled. Come back to the fire of your people. They dragged our kin from the Niger River, burned the villages, silenced the ancestors' songs. Our ancestors cried when you left. When you cry, I feel the wound we share. We braided our hair like maps so our people could find freedom. That memory lives in your hands. Your hips remember the dances of our people. Your soul, the history of our ancestors. Your seasoning, the memory of our mother's hands. You rap, we chant. You mourn, we drum. This connection is real, is our blood. Haplogroup L runs in your veins. Your hips remember the dances of our mountains. Your eyes carry the dust of our roads. The slave traders broke our families, but not our souls. Your people came from this forest, from this soil. You carry our face, our soul. Why claim American Indian when you carry Fang, Punu, Mayene? They silence the ancestors' songs. You rap, we chant. You mourn, we drum. This connection is real, is our blood. Your hips remember the dances of our people. Your soul, the history of our ancestors. Your seasoning, the memory of our mother's hands. Your power is Wolof, Mandinka, Fula. Your struggle is ours. Your power is Africa and our people. They renamed you, but we never stopped knowing you. You are Mende, Temne, Yoruba, and Igbo. You are my blood. The blood of kings and queens runs through you, even though you were stolen from Africa.
I had to take a step back to like see this, right? And you know what, bro? Like I don't disagree with you on the reasoning behind it, but you're categorizing all of them as one type of people, and they're all different tribes. Remember that Ham has different tribes. You know, even within them. Remember, it's Japheth, Shem, and Ham. Right? So you can't assume that all of them are, because you talk about Ethiopian people as well, or North African people as well. And there's a lot of differences, man. It's almost like, well, I mean, the Bible, biblically speaking, it literally said to, the Israelites to stay the fuck away from Canaan. Like, for sure. It didn't say stay the fuck away from Ham. I'm not defending them, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I want to make sure that we understand and focus on what exactly is the purpose of our changing and believing. And not believing, like, if you're still dealing with faith at this point, then fuck, man, you lost. I'm not saying you specifically, brother. I'm just talking about people in general. Because you should not be in a moment of like, oh, I think I believe. Nah, bro, at this point, you should just know you are Hebrew. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You know how many times I sometimes fight with like not reading the scriptures again? Like, this is a battle because it's a constant walk, and it's tiring. And if people want to say to you like, nah, I don't go through that. See, you weak. Nah, bro, then you a liar. Then you're not really examining yourself. Because if you really think about this so-called walk, then it should mean something. But anyhow, that's not the point. I want to sidestep here. Just kind of making things clear, I think. This I do want to show you. I'm going to take you through a couple books here. Because again, the point being is the history These two things are related. I've showed you guys enough history about them, from the Visigoths to the Franks to the Ostrogoths or whatever the fuck those are. You know what I'm saying? The Anglo and the Saxon, they're all different. They want to claim pure blood, but you know, they're different tribes. I mean, if you're talking about like your original tribe, well, I mean, from what I found out is you guys used to worship Kaz, which is the god of the Edomites. You know what I'm saying? And based on your actions and the way you treat people, it's pretty obvious. I got a first book here called The Lynching of Mexicans in the Texas Borderlands by Nicolas Villanueva. Okay, let's look through this. Some of you guys don't know about this word, but okay, this is page 33. Expatriates, exiles and refugees. Okay, so we see a picture, kind of hard to see, but we see some people picking up some stuff or something. It says here, Juan Crow in Texas. The segregation of ethnic Mexicans in Texas occurred as early as the late 19th century. Initially, segregation appeared in residential districts of Texas cities, which featured an African-American section of town, a Mexican quarter. See, the town and a quarter is a whole lot of difference. Really? This is why history, when you read it, it kind of makes more sense. And the remaining area for the white population, a town for African Americans and a quarter for you Mexicans. But you know, we was equal. Isn't that what BHI says? By the late 19th century, ethnic Mexicans were encountering segregation in public institutions such as schools, restaurants, and hotels. Schools began following Jim Crow practices in most Texas cities by dividing into all Mexican, all black, and all white schools. By the early 20th century, Anglo businesses posted signs with such warnings as "No Mexicans and dogs allowed." Anglo-Texans redoubled their efforts to segregate those seen as non-white. You see that? Mexican Americans in Texas were especially offended. Their determination to protest inclined them to emphasize that the American, quote-unquote, dimension of their identity rather than the Mexican, quote-unquote, dimension. You see what it says? Let's read it again. Their determination to protest inclined them to emphasize the American dimension of their identity rather than the Mexican. You see, like a lot of you maggots, maggots. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys that think that you're gonna ever be accepted by the Anglo, by the two tribe mixed breed Anglo-Saxon. That's two nations. Okay, in case you guys don't know it. So for them to say that they're pure, they're fucking dumb pure. They're pure of dumbness, that's for sure. They also emphasized that they were white by law. What the fuck? White by U.S. law. You see what I'm saying, family? What do you think is going on? Are you guys not paying attention to what the fuck is going on? Do you not seeing that this shit's still happening? Are you not seeing, like, bro? I think a lot of our people just like you guys. We just want to kind of like close our eyes maybe and like not think about it, but. Let me continue. Anglo-Texans redoubled their efforts to segregate those seen as non-white. Mexican Americans in Texas were especially offended. Their determination to protest inclined them to emphasize the American dimension of their identity rather than the Mexican dimension. They also emphasized that they were white by U.S. law. Thus, Anglo in Texas had no right to impose segregationist ordinance and practice upon them. Thus, Anglos in Texas had no right to impose segregationist ordinance and practices upon them. See what it is? So you guys were illegally here and you didn't follow the law. Anglos. You basically are criminals. Your forefathers, your grandfathers, all them fucking old ass people and shit They're criminals because your white skin gave you the fucking right. Thus, Anglo and Texas had no right to impose segregationist ordinances and practices upon them. Check this out. Let me see if it's here. Listen to this. Page 55. The burning of Antonio Rodriguez. In the Southwest, lynching has a long and dark history. Michael Pfeiffer explains that collective violence within the borderland regions after 1840s stemmed from white Americans. Efforts to achieve a racial and cultural conquest of Native Americans and Hispanics, which we're still the same people, but you start seeing a division, and all of you, and every single one of us embraces because a lot of us were brought up to think that we are different than them, and we're not. And Hispanics that consciously supplanted recently established American criminal justice institutions as inadequate instruments for racial mastery. Kerry Williams believed that this lawlessness resulted in a more Mexican being lynched in the Southwest between 1865 and 1920 than blacks in other parts of the South. You want me to read that again for the people in the back? More Mexicans lynched in the Southwest between 1865 and 1920 than blacks in other parts of the South. Now, you guys wonder why? If you want to compare the so-called history that were taught by them, meaning the white folks, and then they still push it, that's why you have FPA saying the dumb shit. The reality is, and we know that there's been Negroes owning slaves or African Americans or black people, whichever name you choose to run by. Historically speaking, it shows that people of African descent owned slaves since 1492 all up until 1865, and that they fought with the Confederacy to fucking keep slaves, without a doubt. So when you start now reading this, more Mexicans being lynched, it's not by coincidence. It's not like, oh, the whites were competing with killing the blacks compared to us. Like, no. This wasn't happening to them like that. You see, when you look at history for what it is, after 1865, you hear about this Reconstruction Act. You need to read into the Reconstruction history, but not like the main, like the simple ones they give you in high school or some bullshit or you find at the store. We're talking about going into newsletters of those years, documents of them speaking about particular laws changing of Reconstruction. I'm talking about from 1865 document, 1885, you can find it. And there's people talking about a Reconstruction of some type. While our gente is losing this whole entire time, fam, think about this, 1865, what do we talk about Reconstruction Act here? If you guys supposedly, like, what do you mean? You guys took our lands. It didn't matter how the fuck it happened. Do you understand what supposedly slave? See how they want to like put a blanket over your eyes, like, oh, slavery, 1848, bye, we took your land. You see what that means? Slavery, oh, 1848, bye, half of Mexico is gone. Do you understand that shit? And then we see stuff like this. And then we find out, historically speaking, like, bro, hold on a second. How come this history that supposedly we've been told does not match? Historians Williams Kerrigan and Clive Webb create a database listing all known lynchings of ethnic Mexicans in the United States between 1848 and 1928. They argue that the lynching of ethnic Mexicans in the United States far exceeded that of any other immigrant group and is comparable with African American lynchings, at least on a per capita basis. But now they want to clean it up. Fine, whatever. You do the history, you'll find out this is not a lie. How come this shit is not talked about? Why does this not matter? Should it not matter? I mean, shit. Why should it not matter? Juan Crow. The segregation of ethnic Mexicans in Texas occurred as early as the late 19th century. See this right here? We read this already. This is real stuff. Check this out. This is a book for no Mexican women or dogs allowed. It says here on page 59, these are real things. Like this, these are things that actually occurred. This is not a fucking joke. Like, this is exactly what our gente went through. And then you have motherfuckers over here coming insane and their little TikTok channels like, oh, we're the real people of this land. Get the fuck out of here. You have not suffered not even one bit what our blood has been boiling since y'all showed up in 1492. What the fuck you talking about? Creation of the Mexican problem. I didn't say no other problem. You know, when I first came to this country, well, actually, years later, I found out that nobody wanted to be Mexican. Everybody wanted to be everything else but Mexican. Some of you Mexicans wanted to be Puerto Ricans. Some of you wanted to be like supposedly black because you had curly hair. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to be Mexican. I remember that shit. And now all of a sudden, people want to be Chicanos and they're not. And Morenos want to be Mexicans and they're like, you see what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, people are telling us that we are like Asians and shit. Like, you know, like sushi type. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's our karate knowledge? If we're fucking Asians, well, how come we don't know fucking karate? Shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know how to box, but damn, man, if we really are those people, then how come we don't fucking know kung fu? Fuck you with that bullshit. The creation of the Mexican problem. The Mexican problem was an ideological construct by whites to further demonize raza. La raza, my bad. You see that? Now, why would, look, think about this for a moment. I want you, my gente, my beautiful gente, to think like this. The Mexican problem was an ideological construct by whites to further demonize la raza. Why would you need to demonize something? Why would you need to demonize? Like, for example, you have to, okay, let's be parents for a moment. All right, and you got two kids. Why would one want to demonize the other? We know that's called bullying, right? And what does that mean? These are the weak people. You see, psychologically, they've been trying to demonize us they've been actually not trying. They were demonizing us for a long time. And at the same time, we all have been confused about who the fuck we are. Now, I'm going to tell you something about my experience, and I'll say it shortly. As soon as I started finding out what my heritage was, and I don't see how it's not. It empowered me more into knowing who I am, at the same time being comfortable with examining myself, at the same time being able to repent. You know what I'm saying? So when I read this, the Mexican problem was an ideological construct by whites to further demonize la raza, I don't get mad like, oh, you fucking, I'm like, okay, you scared of me, you fuckers. You fuckers are scared of us. See, they're scared of us, gente. They needed to create this ideology, this construct, this idea to make themselves feel better than us. That should tell you how beautiful you are. For someone to fucking be the low, like go that low, like think about how low they really are. They think that that's their high, and we look at it like, bro, that's your low, and that's your high? Like that's your best shot? Well, the notion that La Raza was a detriment to U.S. society was not new. See this? Not new when? During the 1920s. During the 1920s, a specific reference to the dilemma was called the Mexican problem, quote unquote. The new waves of immigration, restrictionist immigration policy, the increase in segregationist practices, the assimilationist efforts, creation of the Border Patrol, and eugenics led to this problem. Now, keep in mind, eugenics, Border Patrol, assimilation, segregation, all has to do with eugenics. You see, that's why you fucking dumbasses, when you try to say like, well, you know, I'm an American, and you got a big ass accent and shit. Like you're like, I'm not even from here, and a lot of you fucking MAGAs that voted for him, you guys have a horrible accent, and you talk about assimilation. Shit, man, you would not pass. But I want you to understand what you're voting for. You are supporting eugenics, fuck faces, because that's what it stands for. At the end of the day, why would you even vote? You know what I mean? We just listened to the, what's his name again? Hold on. Let me see if I don't, hopefully I don't. And I'm going to come back to read it. Don't trip. I'm going to come back to read it. Give me a second. This guy right here.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long, when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged, and nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care.
That's what I mean, bro. Like, you guys don't give a fuck. You don't fucking care. You're not seeing the changes. You're not. If you really think you're smart, then you should be like really informing gente of what the fuck is going on and what the fuck is about to go on. And why this, man, but no, bro, everybody's all about themselves. Matter of fact, it's not only just kissing ass, brother, it's all about the money, homie. It's about the feria, because they know when they're bashing raza, that shit pays. You see, gringos pay for that fucking anger, brother. It's like, you know, people pay for porn, bro. People pay for that anger. Like, I was watching a video earlier, and this guy was saying about Morenos, how they're talking shit about, they're creating channels to talk shit about Morenos because they know that gringos pay for that fucking content. Let's finish this. I'll show it.
Good, honest, hardworking people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hardworking people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all.
See? And that's why I was like, bro, either animal, man, is just bad, but fuck, you went that route? You went that route? You showed, look, listen, I knew what my brother-in-law was about in 2016, and that's when I cut ties, bro. I would like to at least say, I hope I'm not wrong. Then I'm a good judgment of character. You know, I got a text message from, hopefully the brother's listening or listens. And this message took me off guard. While I'm talking, I'm looking for the video. This message took me off guard. Because the last time I spoke to this brother, he was supposed to jump in a live with me. I happened to not be able to because, you know, some personal things happened at that moment. And
into it. This is what they had to say.
I thought that was it. Like, and then, you know, I called them a couple times. And I found it. Called him a couple times. He didn't answer. I figured, you know, like, I'm used to that. Like, it's okay. Maybe he'll call me. And then he texted me another message about how I offended him, but he's been acting like distant from everybody else too. And then he texts me again, and it's like he's, I don't know, bro. Like, I had no idea that like, I had no clue. I saw a text message like at 10 o'clock at night, and that night I was really tired. I said, I'll take it tomorrow. I wake up the next day, and I'm like trying to really push this business, right? So I like wake up with that mindset. Boom! I didn't even remember about the text message, man. And then like it reminded me when you text me late, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I don't understand. But anyhow, look, this is what I mean, bro. Regarding the content. Regarding the content. So this guy's talking about how, you know, their people are creating channels to like talk shit because it pays. It pays. Let's see if he says it. All right, let me just see if he says it.
You're conservative and you make videos degrading black folks.
Oh shit, I think I did it right at the moment. Hold on a second, family. Hold on.
This is that if you hate him. He's a huge conservative YouTuber.
Yep, I got it at the moment, man. Oh, Father, man, that's crazy, bro. Like, all praise to the Most High. Let's go.
Agree with what I'm saying, and the conservative ideas is just like, it ain't got nothing to do with pro-blackness. So no. Now the first black conservative that I want to discuss is Officer Tatum. He's a huge conservative YouTuber that pulls in massive views. And one thing that I've noticed is that if you're a black person and you're a conservative and you make videos degrading black folks, you gonna be making that bread.
See that? That's why you got channels like that with Raza. They try to claim to be in a Raza and then try to hold on to the indigenous name, but at the same time wear a red cap. You know, you can't be distant from something like that you were constantly part of. I find that interesting. Let's go back to this. Let me see. We're here. Let's start it again. The Mexican problem was an ideological construct by whites to further demonize La Raza. While the notion that La Raza was a detriment to U.S. society was not new, during the 1920s, a specific reference to the dilemma was called the Mexican problem. As you probably know now, that it was more likely printed and publicized. I bet you if I try to look for this information in newsletters, I can find it. The new waves of immigration, restrictionist immigration policy, the increase of segregationist practices, pro-assimilationist, because that's what you guys are talking about constantly. Efforts, creation of the border. It's kind of weird that you guys are even talking about that because, like, where the fuck do you think you are? You're not in Europe, fuck faces. You're not in Europe. Like, you're not in Europe. If you're around all kinds of white folks, yeah, man, maybe you can implement that language, but like you're in a continent that you're not part of. So I don't understand what the fuck the mindset is with you. The new wave of immigration, restrictionist immigration policy, the increase of segregationist, it says the pro-assimilationist efforts, creation of the Border Patrol, and eugenics led to this problem. Eugenics, new theories about hereditary and racial differences, fueled the idea that there was a Mexican race. You see? That's what you vote for. I mean, look, if MAGA was on the left side, I'd still tell you that's what you voted for. So when you vote MAGA, you vote for this because that's what they are. The left is, yes, you see the rainbow. I get it. That's what it is. But this is what they are. Pretty much like one's inclusive, the other one's exclusive. You can see in their talk. Bottom line, eugenist Charles Davenport warned the United States population could rapidly become darker in pigmentation, smaller in stature, more mercurial, more attached to music and art, more given to crimes of larceny, kidnapping, assault, murder, rape, sex immorality, and more given to burglary and drunkenness and vagrants than their original English settlers. That's what they think about you. But I find it so funny. These words are constantly being used, even to this day. Murder and rape. Murder and rape. But what do I know, right? Immigration and the increasing of significance of citizenship. Page 57. Let's see. I think this is the one where they're like fighting within each other. Give me a moment. We'll take a picture of it. I'm not going to read it. Let me go here. There was a section. I took a picture of that because I wanted to follow up on something over here. Is this Ignacio Links of the Mexico? You know what? Let's skip. We're saving some time. Okay, so let's move on to this book. All right, let's just move on to this book. This is from Open Veins of Latin America. This is on page 130. Hold on, 133. It's going to be a short night, family. Let's just read this and then we should be good to go. The crisis brought tensions to a head, too, in El Salvador. Nearly half of Honduras banana workers were Salvadorans, and many had returned to their country where there was no work for anyone. a peasant rising in the Izalco region in 1932, quickly spread throughout western El Salvador. Hernandez, this is around those years, okay? Hernandez sent troops with modern equipment to deal with the quote-unquote Bolsheviks. The Indians fought with machetes against the machine guns, and the incident ended with 10,000 dead. Hernandez, a vegetarian crank theosophist, maintained that killing an ant. Hold on. Did I not take a picture of it? What? I thought I took a picture of it. Give me a second, family. Oh, man, that sucks. All right, what do you talk about that? It was more important to kill an ant, to kill a human than to kill an ant. I mean, it was more important to kill an ant than a human because, or a Mexican. Or, I'm talking about, a person from there, indigenous, because a person can reincarnate. That's what he said. But an ant can't. Yeah. My bad. I would have to run out of the room to take a picture of that page. I'm not going to try to do that, okay? Let's move on. Page 112, same book. Massacres were continually throughout the area. In Guatemala, in 1933, Jorge Ubico shot 100 trade unions, student and political leaders while restoring the law against Indian vagrancy. Each Indian had to carry a book listing his days of work. If these were deemed insufficient, he paid the debt in jail or by bending his back over the ground without pay for half a year. Do you understand that shit? This was going on to our people. You see, before you try to be somebody else, why don't you learn about your gente? Seriously. Before you try to be anything else, you need to learn about your tribe too. Then it says, your Ubico granted coffee and banana concerns permission to kill. Plantation proprietors will be exempt from criminal responsibility. You see this shit? Come on, bro. You know? It's fucked up, man. Let's look at some videos real quick.
Grab your pol.
Check this out. This is why I don't like you fuckers. Christmas Christians, all of you people that are in these stupid religions and shit. This is why I don't like you guys, man. Listen to this hypocrisy.
Because Marquito definitely does not want us talking about this. Welcome to Green Cards from me, but not for thee, where we expose the loudest voices in immigration hypocrisy. Today's returning guest, Marco Rubio. You already know that Marco is the son of Cuban immigrants, had a grandfather that was ordered deported from the United States, is a birthright citizen, and now wants to slam that door shut behind him. But what I haven't told you is that his cuñado, his brother-in-law, was one of Miami's most prolific cocaine drug traffickers. His name, Orlando Cecilia. He was convicted in the late 1980s as part of a massive drug ring, moving thousands of pounds of cocaine across South Florida. He was sentenced to 35 years for drug trafficking and money laundering. And the kicker? At the time of his arrest, Cecilia was living in the same house as Marco Rubio. That's right, the DEA kicked down Marco's front door. Cecilia ended up serving just 12 years and was released in 2000. But in 2002, just 2 years after his release, Marco Rubio, who was already climbing Florida's political ladder, personally submitted a letter recommending him for a real estate license. What Rubio
Tell you something. You cannot have a felony to get any type of license in the state like that. Real estate, mortgage, insurance, none of that shit. No felony. Let's get to. Hey, you know what? It's true though, dog. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. It happens in this channel. It happens in this channel, dude. That's why I say for you guys that have a big following and you're not teaching our gente real shit, I have no pity for you when it's time to pay the piper. whichever piper you need to pay. Let's go.
Didn't mention in that letter that the applicant was his brother-in-law. And under normal circumstances, Cecilia's felony trafficking conviction would have been an automatic disqualifier. But as is often the case with these guys, it gets even wilder. Because fast forward to now, where Marco is the Secretary of State and the National Security Advisor, he's using his power to deport immigrants for old drug offenses. The very thing his brother-in-law was convicted of. Here's an actual quote from Rubio from just a couple of months ago. Imposing visa restrictions on drug traffickers, their family members, and close personal and business associates will not only prevent them from entering the United States, but it will also serve as a deterrent for continued illicit activities. Marquito, are you calling for your own brother-in-law's deportation? Because by your own logic, Orlando's out. And with your anchor baby status and close criminal family ties, you might want to go pack a bag too.
I think, at least this is what I see. Okay. There's a couple of videos I'm going to show you. Let me show you this one first, and then explain why they're doing what they're doing with Maduro. Remember the name of the class, the history. I gave you guys some history. Okay? 3 different books. Can't say that I didn't show you some books today. I gave you guys 3 different books. Now I'm going to explain to you why this is important and why the picture means past and present and who these people are, Nazis and Zionists. It's all in one and the same. It's one and the same. You could actually call them Nazi Zionists. Seriously, like for real. Here's why. We got some history. Now listen to some current event stuff.
Importing immigrants, but they're the ones who pick the fruits and vegetables upon which the Florida economy depends. But I have a solution. We're changing the law so children can go to work in the fields. That's the end of an empire. That's what happens. And no one says boo. 14-year-olds will now be eligible to work until I think 9 at night. I mean, all kinds of things that the law forbade for children before. We're going to have child labor, and it's going to be good because you see, you can pay the children as little as you got away with paying those immigrants.
Not only that, they're setting you guys up. The scriptures talk about the end, how things will be very, very bad. 2nd Esdras 15 talks about that. Let's continue. I'll see if I can find it.
Jesus Christ. How many symptoms do you want to see before you go to the doctor? How many things are you going to face before you realize you got a different problem than the one you thought you had?
Sorry, I had to fix that real quick. So let me hold on to the scripture. I don't want to lose track of what the point is. So we see what he's saying, right? Now check this out.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it.
Okay, so this is I believe this guy did it he reported it today. So check it out.
The arrest of Nicolas Maduro. Wait, Maduro is the is he not in Venezuela? Yeah, he's the president of Venezuela. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Is this real? Chad, is this real? Attorney General Pam Bondi is announcing a $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of the Venezuelan president. So now we're going to arrest the Venezuelan president. Like, have we not done enough to Venezuela? Do we need to do more? Now we're going to... What right do we have, does the Justice Department or the State Department have, to arrest a foreign diplomat or a foreign statesman? Like, just think about the absurdity of this in a time where you have Benjamin Netanyahu being sought for an arrest warrant for his crimes against humanity. And we are expected to believe that the United States is trying to arrest, of all people, Nicolas Maduro.
Today, the Department of Justice and State Department are announcing a historic $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. Foreign terrorist organizations like TDA.
And you know, the funny thing is the video does, and it looks weird. It's like, it even looks weird that she's talking. It's too fucking robotic, man. I don't know, but I mean, I believe this for sure. Because
of all people,
someone else did a report and I caught it. I caught air. Remember, I speak Spanish too, right? So I caught air off of it. It's crazy. Check it.
Nicolas Maduro.
Today, the Department of Justice and State Department are announcing a historic $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. Foreign terrorist organizations like TDA, Sinaloa, and Cartel of the Suns to bring deadly drugs and violence into our country. To date, the DEA has seized 30 tons of cocaine linked to Maduro and his associates, with nearly 7 tons linked to Maduro himself.
The CIA's fingerprints is all over this. This is such a political stunt.
Which represents a primary source of income for the deadly cartels based.
And you're gonna find out that he's not incorrect. And again, I was looking at it from a distance. You know, again, there's certain things I don't ever talk about on this channel. Seriously, I could really talk about a bunch of other shit, but I choose not. I don't get into those things. I mean, seriously, man, I have a vast amount of space to say, hey, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, I could do that. You know, I'm just kidding. But this is the calling. So watching these things play themselves out, as soon as I saw it coming, I said, oh, that's fucking why. And you're gonna find out why it's coming, where it's coming from, because it's actually coming from South America. This movement is coming from South America. They're trying to pressure that state, that country, I'm sorry. And you're gonna see how this is all working itself out.
In Venezuela and Mexico. Cocaine is often laced with fentanyl, resulting in the loss and destruction of countless American lives.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what about is he really doing this to try to distract from the Epstein files?
The DOJ has seized over $700 million of Maduro-linked assets, including 2 private jets, 9 vehicles, and more. Yet Maduro...
Oh, you mean so Jeffrey Epstein's estate has been seized?
Reign of terror continues. He is one of the largest narco traffickers in the world and a threat to our national security.
I mean, what better way to keep the grift going than to blame brown people in Latin America?
Therefore, we...
That's why I read to you guys the books before. Explaining those things. This is not their first rodeo. This is not their first rodeo. The lynching of Mexicans in Texas borderlands. No Mexican women or dogs allowed. This is actually Open Veins of Latin America. That's a really good book, by the way. I gave you some history, so you can see exactly what's going on right now. So just like the old, and with the new, the history of American Nazism and Zionism, technically Nazi Zionists. I mean, because that's what they are, Christian Zionists. I mean, hello, they just want a white pop. Am I lying? No, fuck no. They even said it themselves. They want a white country. That video I showed you guys the other week. White man all building his little white town in Arkansas and shit. And I'm like, dude, if you're European, then go back to your people. What the fuck? Why are you here? We're not going anywhere. Let's go.
Doubled his reward to $50 million. Under President Trump's leadership, Maduro.
Dude, Trump is so cooked. What's in those files, Trump? What are in the Epstein files, Trump? That's all I can think about now.
Will not escape justice, and he will be held accountable for his despicable crimes. If you have any information to bring this criminal to justice, call 1-202.
All right. You see that number? Fucking call it. Just give them.
Talking about the leader of a foreign country, and you're
1-202-307-4.
I love how it's like we're talking about the leader of a foreign country.
Right.
And you're calling on private American citizens to.
That's what I was thinking. Like, what the fuck, dog? You simpleton. You that's sitting in that couch with your microwave fucking dinner. Call 202-307-4228 because you may know where Maduro is. Oh shit! This is fucking funny. See, you see what I'm saying, fam? I just see weakness. That's all I see. It's funny to me now. Man, let's continue. This is great, dude.
Give you a scoop on the whereabouts of a foreign statesman. What the can't you just ask the Pentagon? Or, I don't know, maybe the State Department could check internally. Maybe they could marshal some of the...
You gotta admit, that shit is funny, dude. I thought it was...
Power.
It's actually the first time I caught...
Leader of a...
Because what I do usually in a video, I'll probably check into for 2.5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, it's got a good vibe. Let's let it fly. And, then I stop. So a lot of this stuff, I don't hear before. So this is a genuine laugh because it's the first time you're hearing it. It's just funny shit because I'm thinking the same thing. I'm just not thinking it out loud,
Foreign country, and you're calling on private American citizens to give you a scoop on the whereabouts of a foreign statesman. What the? Can't you just ask the Pentagon? Or, I don't know, maybe the State Department could check internally. Maybe they could marshal some of the power of the government that they bestow to find about, is he not in his presidential palace in Venezuela? I mean, I don't know where the president lives in Venezuela, but I'm pretty sure it's well known. I mean, can you imagine if Emmanuel Macron went in front of the French people and said, we are putting an arrest warrant for Donald J. Trump. If anyone knows where Donald Trump might be right now, please call the French tip hotline. I'm be like, I think he's at the White House. He might be in Washington, D.C. I don't know. Or Mar-a-Lago. Give this man hundreds of millions of dollars. He figured it out. Only a gooner moron would believe Maduro actually sells drugs. The CIA is the biggest drug dealer in the world. Come on.
228 or go online.
Just go online. You want your $50 million? Just go online and fill out this application. I mean, that is pretty f***ing absurd. You tried to call? Report tips, but I can't report fake tips, and I would never do that because that's against the law. And we are law-abiding American citizens. Okay, I always follow the law. The law is the law. It's the law of the land. That's why they say that. And I'm a good law-abiding, upstanding American citizen. Oof, the Jeffrey Epstein Memorial. That's a pretty funny picture right there. You seem to be doing everything to avoid releasing that list that was on your desk. It's so obvious. I'm glad I'm not the only one thinking that.
It's not just about being tired of...
Man, that shit was funny. But here's the point, though, fam. We got a point going on here. We do have a point. We do have a point. This gentleman right here summarized it for us.
Damas y caballeros.
Let me see if I can find it without having to read all the... Okay, there goes right.
Crédito. Sacar el trancazo. Toda por Venezuela. Que quieren acabar con Maduro por Venezuela. Que están justificando que en Colombia hay narcos.
So he's talking about the same thing. The reason why they're here goes right here. Here's where it goes, family. Here's the reason why. I showed you a video earlier regarding the older man that's talking about, like, this is it, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it, dog. Man, well, you had your run. You had your run. Like this one right here. All right.
All right, welcome to the show, y'all. Welcome.
Quiet.
Welcome. So,
Quiet. This right here. Right here. Let's listen to this real quick.
stop eating around the bush. The fact of the matter is, the U.S. empire's cooked. It's cooked. It's a wrap. We're done. We're done. Now, we might have this image in our head like, oh, we're on the decline, but maybe we can turn it around. But that's all just pure cope. Like, there's nothing to that. It's already over. So here we go. Let's watch and then we'll break it down.
The American empire is over. We're done. We peaked about 12, 15 years ago, and we are on a down. And it's very hard for the American people, which I understand. I am one. It's hard to get your head around that. We've had a century of on the way up, which is a lot more fun than on.
Pay attention to why I play these videos, man, because I try to provide sources for you guys to like really like, you know, absorb and chew on this information and reflect on exactly what are the times. A lot of you are going to be like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You know, I just want to live my life. But some of us are not. Some of us are very, you know, consciously wondering, like, what is the next thing I should be doing? The moment that I was woken up to this understanding, I started questioning everything that I do because I want to make sure that I do it right. No fucking way, dude. I'm gonna have to check into that. If that's true, then we're there. Let's continue. That if this is true, oh, I'm sorry, Hitler invaded Poland. Yeah, he did. He did invade Poland. I don't know why I thought instead of Hitler I saw Putin. I don't know why I thought I saw Putin instead of Hitler. Putin invaded Poland. I was like, whoa. But it's not Putin. It was Hitler. My bad, family. I shit, man. Maybe that may happen. I don't know. I'm just saying. Let's go.
On the way down. But it does happen to every empire. We're only the latest. Look at the British, how far they've fallen. We're in that process. So the problem with the trickle down is, yeah, there might be more jobs, but they're going to be created in China. They're going to be created in Brazil. They're going to be created in India. They're not created here. The best electric vehicles in the world right now, but by uniform global agreement, are produced by something called the BYD Corporation, which probably most folks have never heard of, which is Chinese. BYD, the initials, BYD.
Keep in mind that he's an economist, so he's looking at productivity across the countries, and this is how what he's, you know, I guess you could say his conclusion. Like this country's going down, and another country's going to, you know, gain more power. That's this conclusion. Now, you that, or you know, us that believe in a book, it says that that's kind of where shit starts really changing. Shit crazy. You know? So just be mindful of that. Let's continue.
They make the best quality, cheapest electric car and truck. All right. You don't see them anywhere in the United States. Why not? Because Mr. Trump put a 27% tariff on them, and Mr. Biden raised it to 100%.
And people will be forced to buy U.S. stuff.
Right.
Which then creates U.S. jobs, which again stimulates the economy.
All right, let me be the economist. Okay, that's good for the Tesla company, which I'm sure is purely coincidental, and the GM and Ford and the others. Good. And they'll maybe be able to hold on to some jobs. Good. But now let's follow the bouncing ball, because that's my job as an economist. Yeah. Everywhere else in the world, every company in Asia, Africa, Latin America, that competes with an American company that has to buy a truck as part of its business will go to China and buy the best truck at the lowest price.
And that's very true, because if you look at the pricing over there, those fucking fabulous looking cars, electric, they're like 40, 50, 40, 30, 20 grand, man. I'm telling you, dude, it's crazy. But here, well, you'll find out why they're keeping away this industry. Why America does not want this industry. Because if you leave this industry open, America has no power, meaning white America. Well, white and black America, because that's basically what you guys are fighting for. You know, the checkerboard America. Checkerboard America. You don't want to dabble into this type of industry because it doesn't give you full power. You can't compete. But if you dominate the oil industry, the gas industry, then you can control the vehicle industry. And if you dominate the oil industry, which, you know, it's weird because you don't dominate it, but when you try to steal it, I guess, then it starts making more sense. Let's continue.
$3,000, the best truck. No American company that competes with them will do that. And you know what that means? Those companies will be able to charge a lower price because they have better inputs. The American company, which doesn't. In the long run, that will lose Americans' jobs left and right as they're outcompeted by all the rest of the world that can go and buy and is buying BYD trucks. If you go to Europe right now and you go on the auto routes all over Europe, you'll see BYD cars and trucks. America is shooting itself in the foot. If you take the United States together with the other G7 countries, that used to be the dominant bloc of the world, right? The United States, let's just enumerate them so everybody knows. Canada, Japan, Germany, France, Italy, and Britain, okay? The G7, the world. And I'm going to add up all the GDP, gross domestic product, total output of goods and services of all of those 7 countries, U.S. and its major allies. And now I'm going to compare it to the gross added up GDPs of China and its allies, known now as the BRICS. Okay, you add up the United States.
Remember that name, BRICS. It has everything to do with Madero. It has everything to do with the $50 million bounty hunt. Like, if you know anything, redneck, you know, are you sitting over there in your couch up in that old house and shit smells all like musty. If you know anything about Maduro, bro, you give me a call. It don't matter to me, man, if I only got 3 people watching, bro. It doesn't matter to me, bro. You guys don't insult me. This shit started with like 3 people following this channel. You know what I mean? It's all good. I know you guys don't like this medicine, bro, but you're going to have to deal with it. Because I know people watch this channel. People with bigger channels watch my channel. They do. So let's go.
States about 28% of world output. You add up China and the BRICS, it's 35% of the world output. We aren't the wealthiest bloc in the world. We're number 2. And that's new. And that changes everything. Stop. And you can rattle your sabers all over the... You put the 7th Fleet in the South China Sea. Isn't going to change that. You've got to come to terms with that. But we are led by people who don't want to do that because nobody wants to be the politician who has to explain to the people it's over.
Damn.
Damn. Over. And those are realities. Those are the realities that the Bible, the book talked about. That's the reality when you take a land that don't belong to you. That is called payback. What do you want me to tell you? You know, you guys are very conspiracy theorists. I guess you could say I'm one of them too. Can't blame me for it. I learned it from you. Hold on, let me change this real quick. Oh, that's right. I don't need to see this. Okay, so now we see the desperation. We understand now what's going on. You saw what he talked about and what he said regarding the loss of power and then the energy crisis, I mean, the energy industry. And then he said the BRICS. So let's listen to this vato right here. He is from Guadalajara. And check this out. He lays down exactly what, like, I could kind of see, but I just don't know enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not educated enough in that whole government or worldwide government shit. You know what I'm saying? They're more informed in this stuff that they're doing. That, you know what I'm saying? So let's go.
Lo más seguro es que sean los cárteles. Lo más seguro. Lo más seguro. Cualquier pretexto va a encontrar bueno. La verdad, siendo honestos. Pero el pretexto es por qué.
You see what he shows right there? Like he's like, el pretexto. Like, what's the reason why you want to invade the guy? Why? Reservas de petróleo. Interestingly enough, they want to pay some random person $50 million. And if you have any information on Maduro, please let us know. Call this fucking number. When the hell have they ever done that? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of weird, man. That's why I was like, dude, this is a good point. So let's get a little bit of this. It says Nicolás Maduro controla como presidente de Venezuela las reservas de petróleo más grandes del planeta y las reservas de oro más grandes del continente. So they have the most oil and the most gold reserves. So for all you guys that just like kind of randomly left and shit, and you missed out, well, you missed out. This is exactly what's going on. So you MAGAs, hey, make America great again at the expense of other people. At the expense of other people, I'm sorry. That's technically what you're saying. Right? Let's go.
Colombia. ¿Por qué Brasil? ¿Por qué Venezuela? Aquí está lo bueno, el negocio. ¿Por qué Ursula von der Leyen se dejó empinar por el tío Sam? Porque si soy tan así, va a sonar a comentarios heteropatriarcales. Y ustedes saben que podré ser todo menos machista. Todo menos machista. Podré ser machirulo menos machista. Podré ser un dictador suelo menos machista. Menos machista. Lo que se te ocurra. Lo que se te ocurra, menos machista. ¿Cómo está, René? Fuerte abrazo. Leonor. Podré ser todo. Machirulo, prieto color cartón, soleadito, el martillo de Thor, lo que tú quieras, como me quieras llamar. Todo menos machista. Podría hacer comentarios misóginos heteropatriarcales, pero nunca machista. Es lo mismo, ¿verdad? Es lo mismo. Bueno, me da a entender. Me da a entender. Leonor, eres machista. Deje. Macho. Es diferente, macho. Mr. Power Seduction. Ahí les va. Fíjense.
As a matter of fact, good time. The commercial came in time. They love war because they know they have an advantage when it comes to weapons. If it wasn't for that, they would be passing blankets. Yeah. Well, the war stuff, the weapons. It's again, it's in the book. I mean, let's just set it aside for a moment. Not that we need to, but just for a moment, they would still be those people. You know what I mean? Like, because they love weapons, man. They fucking kill animals for no reason. Like, explain that shit to me. I'm just gonna go hunting. Hey, I just want to shoot something and shit. Like, what do you mean? If it wasn't an animal, then they would shoot people. You get what I'm saying? They're just shooting animals for no reason. That means that they would be willing to shoot people. Think about that logic. Let's go. My bad.
Estaba leyendo a Rubén que Ursula von der Leyen ya se empinó a los poderes fácticos del tío Sam. Ok. A Venezuela son temas geoestratégicos. A ver, mapas.
Here's where he gets into it. Listen.
Están recibir algo. Y ya están volteando a ver a Colombia. Colombia es pieza clave para de ahí brincarse directo.
My bad, family. My bad. There's a part here where he talks about Zionists.
Pero acá ya se empinó.
Hold on.
A los poderes fácticos del tío Sam. Ok.
Okay.
Se entiende. Algo le ofreció el tío Sam. Acuérdense que el tío Sam es el que dirige la OTAN, a la OTAN. Y acuérdense que la OTAN hoy se está reestructurando. Están invirtiendo más en armamento. Pero a cambio necesitan recibir algo. Y ya están volteando a ver a Colombia. Colombia es pieza clave para de ahí brincarse directamente un poquito más arriba, a Venezuela. Son temas geoestratégicos. A ver, mapas. Ahí está, vamos a irnos a mapitas. No quiero esto, quiero.
Okay, so what he's doing, let me just tell you what he's talking about. NATO is considering bringing in Colombia into their NATO organization, okay? But at the same time, BRICS, Russia, China, you know what I'm saying? They're considering bringing Venezuela into their currency. So now you understand exactly what's going on. So Maduro maybe has given hints that he wants to go there. And now it's time to do the coup d'etat. Coup d'etat in Venezuela. Wow, dude, I have to do a class on that. Coup d'etat in Venezuela. That's what it is. Let me let him play. Let me let him talk.
Así de sencillo. Así de fácil. Colombia está pegado a Venezuela. No van a atacar directamente Venezuela. Quieren atacar directamente Colombia. Con el pretexto de que Colombia es, pues Colombia. Colombia. Así de sencillo. Y Brasil pues está al ladito, miren, fíjense. Todo esto es Brasil. La Amazonas, Manaus, Zárate, todo eso es Brasil. Si se fijan, todo eso es Brasil. Entonces, ¿por qué esos tres? Y por aquí abajito está Perú. Aquí, mira, aquí está Perú. Aquí. Perú. Dina Boluarte anda ahí haciéndola de jamón, diciendo que Colombia está invadiendo espacio aéreo. Entonces, yo me voy a autosugerir, voy a hacer un análisis rápido. Yo digo que Perú va a ser la entrada de los Estados Unidos. Fíjense. Los Estados Unidos va a salir en ¿cómo se llaman esas chingaderas? Va a salir en buques, va a llegar a Perú, porque pues obviamente la Dina Boluarte, y a través de Perú y Ecuador, que están unidos, van a poder entrar con sus tropas a Colombia directamente. Pero no pueden llegar directamente a Venezuela, porque en Venezuela tienen, que no se les olvide, muchos buques con portaaviones y portamisiles. Entonces necesitan llegar por tierra. Esa es la clave. Perú es el justificante para decir que Colombia los está invadiendo para que después salga Ecuador a defender a Perú y estos dos puedan tener acceso. Y acuérdense que el canal de Panamá ya se dobló ante Trump. Entonces, está cabrón ese vato, Ay, está cabrón ese vato. Yo no sé quién lo esté asesorando. Es lo lógico, ¿no? Creo yo. De ahí entras a todo. Ahora, acuérdense que Argentina ya es de los sionistas. Acuérdense que el ejército argentino ya colabora con Donald Trump. Ya estamos viendo cómo trae toda la historia. Aquí abajito están los sionistas. Aquí abajito.
He's talking about these Khazars. They're over here in Argentina. The president is a Khazar. I mean, he in one of his major presidential meetings, I don't know what the fuck, he used the Bible and he's like, he called it the Torah. La Torah. These are Zionists. It's coming from down and it's coming from up. I've been saying this for a little bit. Let's continue.
En la de esta. En la de esta de la aquella. ¿Cómo se llama esta?
Teenagers are building businesses with AI.
And quite frankly, man, it's interesting that Mexico has that president. Lately, I've been kind of wondering about that. I'll do a class on that. But that's what I'm talking about, what I saw.
Aquí abajito están los sionistas. Aquí abajito. En la de esta. En la de esta de la aquella. ¿Cómo se llama esta? Ay, se me olvidó el nombre. Se me olvidó el nombre. Bueno, en ella. Aquí está el de este. No me acuerdo cómo se llama. Pero si se fijan, de aquí ya puede subir a Brasil. Ya tiene Ecuador, Perú y Argentina. Si agarra Brasil, que es prácticamente toda la Patagonia, esa, gracias, muchísimas gracias, Eddie, la Patagonia. Aquí en Argentina, en la Patagonia, están los sionistas haciendo investigaciones de campo, no se les olvide. Los sionistas jamás de los jamases podrían portarse mal en contra de los ciudadanos del mundo. Acuérdense que el sionismo es un ente a favor de las masas, porque obviamente somos como esclavos, somos negros para ellos. O sea, yo estoy negrito, con leche. Pero para ellos yo soy un negro de 1721. Eso es lo que soy para ellos. Hay que ser honestos. Aquí abajito están los sionistas. Y luego...
He doesn't joke around, bro, because I'm going to show you some shit interesting about like negro shit. Negros, like how the terminology was and how it's even used even to this moment, bro. And, you know, negros here in North America, they think that it only applies to them. Like, no, man, shut the fuck up, bro. You have no idea how deep that word goes. Before it was English, it was Spanish. Do you understand that? We should just settle it right there. Nigga, nigger, negro, negro. Before it was English, it was Spanish. So if you really want to identify the word negro, then we need to go back on what the fuck they were thinking. Because in Spain at that time, they had swarthy bastards too. And they weren't considered negros. Let's continue.
Está todo el ejército que los sionistas van a estar dirigiendo al ejército de Argentina. Van a estar colaborando, les van a decir cómo es que es la vuelta. Ya tienen a Perú y ya tienen a Ecuador. Lo que quieren es Brasil y Colombia para que después Venezuela no pueda decir nada. No pueda ni siquiera decir pío. ¿Por qué? Ya hemos visto el video, pero vamos a ponerlo así de sencillo. Decía Ricardo Anaya que el petróleo ya no iba a ser necesario. Una estrategia para que los pueblos se olvidaran de la necesidad de los hidrocarburos y empezaran a ver otros aires. Pero la verdad es que el petróleo va a seguir siendo útil y necesario para el mundo por los próximos 100, 200 años.
Now you understand why the willingness to arrest this man. The willingness. I didn't want to show this, but I'm gonna have to show it. Here, I'm gonna go up this way. I'm gonna go up. Because the guy said about negro, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, hold on a second. I want you to watch this. Check it out. So I'm going to show you this first. Okay, no, hold on. Let me see if I can see that. Okay, that's right. I got it. Hold on a second, brother. I'm going to show you this first, and then I'm going to show you something else. So that's why it's like, when people talk, please talk with history. with understanding at least, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't just sound stupid. I mean, because eventually, you know, and it's like we all get tired of like hearing the same bullshit and shit. And it's like, yo, shut the fuck up. Let's go.
Y'all are not black. You don't have the right to say that word. You do not come from a lineage of bondage. You do not come from a place where you were sold.
The same reason why black people say nigga is the exact same reason why Mexicans could say nigga. Black people was enslaved, them niggas was enslaved.
It's not the point of me doing this, but just let's continue.
Enslaved too. Why the hell you think they speak Spanish? Why the hell you think majority of them are Catholics? Same reason why you speak English today. Same reason why you a Christian today. When they got to South and Central America, you know what those Spaniards called them? Negroes. That's what they called the indigenous of the land. You was hanged, them niggas was hanged too. You was in the fields, them niggas was in the fields too. Niggas don't need permission to say nigga.
Y'all are not black.
All right, so, you know, he says that, right? I thought I downloaded the link to the video, VTC, but I guess I didn't, in case you hear this. But I have this right here that says John Manuel Monteiro, negros de terra, da terra, indios bandeirantes nas origens de Sao Paulo. So here is where you see people or gente being called negros. You know, like negros. Now, I want to point this out first because I find it interesting. Actually, no, let me just go to the point and then I'll show you this something else. Here, we see this racist Argentina white woman that just happens to be living in Mexico and shit. The bitch got a ticket and she just fucking didn't want to pay it. So what does she do? What does she call the brother? She says, no me estés insultando. Don't insult me. No, don't be insulting me. Don't be insulting me. Then she says, pinche negro. Basically, she says, fucking nigger. That's what she told his brother. Does he look African to you? You see? You don't own that shit. Nobody should be even fucking using it in the first place. But you know what? This is so sad, bro. It's just so stupid at this point.
Odio a los negros como tú. Los odio. Por nacos. Odio a los negros como tú. Güey, porque negros están bien, pero culos los odio. Maldito.
Now you know. And then this is the very ironic shit. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you expect this from white people, from white people. White people. But nah, man, it ain't always white people, bro. That's funny, dude. It's all good, man. I knew that it was pretty much good times. I've had this channel since 2022, and I'm glad that I was able to provide information for the gente. That's what matters to me the most. We're almost done, completely.
Going at 38.
Yes, you are, ma'am. Good morning.
Which is, and the speed limit is 40, and I was going 38, so why are you harassing me?
You are correct. I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
Because
yes, I started to record because
you
you're a murderer.
You can't.
To let you know, she's a negra. She's a morena, African American, West African, I don't know, whatever. That's what she is. That's what she is. She sounds white, but she's black. We'll end it with this.
be on your cell phone while you're driving.
I wasn't on my phone. I was recording you because you scared me.
You can't use your cell phone while you're recording.
I can record you.
May I have your driver's license?
It's at my apartment.
What's your apartment?
It's at my home. I'm just taking my son to his.
Do you have your driver's license?
I mistakenly left it at home.
Do you have a picture of your driver's license?
Yes, I do.
May I have it?
And can you call your supervisor, please?
I already did. He's on his way.
Good, because you're a murderer. And so you're giving me a cell phone ticket? Is that why you're harassing me?
Not harassment. Yeah. I am enforcing the law.
I have a right to record the police when they're harassing me.
By all means, but you can't do it while you're driving.
I wasn't texting or none of that.
Do you have that picture?
You scared me and made me think you were going to murder me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, that's not just a feeling, you're a murderer.
Okay. Pull that back up for me, ma'am.
Okay, murderer.
What's your last name? I can't see that there.
Well, here you
stop,
go,
stop
murderer.
shaking. Zoom in on that for me, ma'am.
No, because you're scaring me. You're threatening to kill me and my son. Can you give me
the well,
iPad,
I'll tell you what, you keep smiling, you're on camera.
You're trying to threaten to kill me.
I didn't say that.
I'm not smiling, you're the one who's crazy.
Hold that still, I can't see that.
I'm holding it, and you're scaring me.
I'll tell you what, you spell your last name for me.
It's right here.
Okay, but you're shaking.
Well, because you're scaring me. You're harassing. Already threatened.
Do you have the insurance?
You say yes, I do. Of course,
Can you get your current proof of insurance?
Yeah, it's in. I told you.
I'll be right back. You get your proof of insurance for me, okay?
It's in my purse.
All you need to do is your signature. He's only citing you for using your cell phone while you're driving. That's it.
There you go, ma'am. Sign inside the red box right there.
For him being a Mexican racist. What is that name? Gasso.
It's on the citation, ma'am.
Here you go, Mexican racist. You're always going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right? You'll never.
You hear that? This is a negra saying it. But again, I know you motherfuckers don't care no more. It's all good, man. I hope I was a fucking strong message to your gente.
Never be white, which is what you really want to be.
There you go,
be
dear.
White.
Have a good day.
You want to be white so bad.
Los niños accionan pistolas, las niñas se cuidan solas, nada raro señora. Venimos del rancho del cerro y la loma, donde cosechan maíz y amapola. Lárgate de aquí, no te metas con mi gente, no, te vas a topar de frente. Lárgate de aquí, no te metas con mi gente. Mira, mira. Ay, pa' la María, más que linda lista, se pone en la esquina, vende su mercancía. No quiere ser reina, ni tampoco rica, solo quiere feria pa' su ma y su tía. Aquí brindamos limón, tequila, ando con lo necesario bailando marimba. Si ya estoy muerta, pero de la risa como Speedy González. Jipa, 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 con la bendición yo ando. Low life por Sonora anda rifando. Tengo mi entorno conectado, todo controlado, como siempre ganando. ¿Quiénes son quien controlan la calle? Corre que no te atrapen, más bombas tal vez ilegales. Yeah, con la lata negro mate. Súbele, wey, ponte la cumbia chalino, cabetes allá la que truene. Súbele, wey, que hoy me duele el corazón, me lo pasaré con pulque si se puede. Malos tiempos, dejaré que pasen, sí, solo miro para adelante. Estas perras conmigo quieren toparse y no creo que me aguanten. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no vas a acabar con mi power mexicano. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no, tú no, tú no, tú no. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no vas a acabar con mi power mexicano. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no, tú no, tú no. Hey.
American Indians, Canada First Nations, Indigenous Central Americans and South American are all Native Americans and Indigenous to these lands. Indigenous revolution is not about picking up weapons. It's not about fighting a war. It's about transforming your mind. It's about changing your perspective, doing away with nationalism, with our labels, with the divisions placed upon us by colonizers. The American flag, the Canadian flag, the Mexican flag, and every flag from Central and South America is a colonial flag, born from conquest. Every one of them was made to divide us, to create false nationalities, to invent new ethnic categories while erasing the original. They diluted our blood, and European caste and racial systems rewrote our identities to create subjects, to shift our allegiance from our people to foreign kings. But through indigenism, we reclaim who we are. We honor our indigenous ancestry, whether we are full-blooded or mixed, mestizo.
If indigenous blood runs through you, then this struggle, this revolution is yours.
True decolonization begins when we remove the mental shackles, the patriotic illusions, the foreign symbols that have separated us for centuries.
What we need now is an indigenous consciousness, one that reawakens our connection to the land, to our people, to the ancient wisdom within us. We're building a new society not based on colonial patriotism, not on borders or flags, but on ancestral unity.
Because true indigenism does not see an indigenous person from Bolivia, from Canada, or from Mexico as separate, but as one people.
So if you are Cherokee, Apache, Iroquois, Blackfoot, or Inuit in Alaska,
if you are Mapuche, Aymara, Yaqui, Mexica, Maya, Zapotec, Purepecha, Pipil, Embera, Inca. If you are Taino, Kalinago, Raramuri, Guarani, Huicharica, Ashaninka, or from any of the many nations across the Americas, you are the people. We are the people.
When a Nahua from Mexico meets a Mapuche from Chile and says, "We are one," that is the moment we rise again. And if no one is illegal on stolen land, then that truth applies across the Americas, not just in the US.
It applies in Canada, in Mexico, in Central America, in South America. No indigenous person should ever be criminalized for walking their own land.
True indigenous revolution is not just one movement. It is the unification of all our struggles.
We must remember our heroes, Canadians, not just with words, but through action.
You are Anacaona and Enriquillo, who were the first to resist the Spanish in what is now the Dominican Republic.
You are Hatuey, the Taino chief of Cuba, who said before being burned alive, "If the Spaniards go to heaven, I do not wish to go there."
You are Cuauhtemoc, last emperor of the Mexica, who endured torture rather than betray his people.
You are the Chichimecas, who fought off Spanish rule for over a century and were never fully conquered. You are the Yaqui, the Apache, who fought wave after wave of occupation.
You are the spirit of Wovoka, of Geronimo, of Sitting Bull, of Crazy Horse, of Tecumseh, those who never surrendered.
You are Tupac Amaru II, who rose in Peru against the Spanish and was quartered because he refused to be a subject to the Spanish crown.
You are Bartolina Sisa, Tomasa Condemaita, and Micaela Bastidas, Wenre, warrior women who led armies against Spain in the Andes. We don't honor these warriors by picking up spears and repeating the same battles. We honor them by becoming something greater, by building alliances, by forming economies, by writing new treaties between our peoples that cannot between governments.
By standing as a continental force, by uniting spiritually, politically, culturally, economically.
Because when we are unified, no one can tell us who we are or where we belong. Our allegiance is not to flags, not to borders, not to constitutions or colonial courts. Our allegiance is to our people,
to the forest, to the mountains, to the ancestors, to the next 7 generations. We defend our people first and everything else comes after.
You are like Russell Means, who reminded us, the one thing we need to remember as Indigenous people is this: we were never defeated, we are still here.
We belong everywhere on this land. We walk where our ancestors walked. We speak with their voices. We carry their memory.
So let the world know, we are the Indigenous Revolution. We are not extinct. We are not broken. We are not conquered.
The eagle and the condor is flying together. You are in the dawn of a new awakening. Indigenous North, Central, and South America have unified.
Ical, hijo, abre los ojos. Se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí caminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros, aunque esta pena tan grave. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.